Welcome to another edition of Interruptions. I'm your host, Oda Smith. Today I got another treat for you guys. He is one of the first celebrities I ever interviewed back in 2020. He's back again. You seen him in Stomp the Yard. You seen him in Soul Food. You seen him on one of my favorite shows, and everybody loves Carl Weber's Family Business as Mr. Orlando Duncan. And I had to check him out on the show y'all need to go check out on Tubi called Double Cross. I'm talking no other than Mr. Darrin Henson. How you doing, sir?
All is well. Good to be here with you, my brother.
Good. Thank you for coming back on the show, man. I appreciate your
Yes,
time.
sir.
Let me ask this question. I know you can't get, but what can we expect this season coming up? I think it airs this week. The
It airs tomorrow. The
okay.
Family Business season 6 comes on tomorrow. Highly anticipated show, sixth season. Carl Weber's The Family Business, and the fans are excited. We're excited for the fans because there's a lot of drama unfolding. As
Yeah,
you know, within the family, there's a lot of discourse in the family. There's some pain happening in the family, some growing pains, and then there's a war building within the family. And so there's a lot of unfolding in this season.
yeah, man. You work with some incredible people I've had on my show. My man Louis, Cuddy Mac. You were Trisha Man Grant. So you've worked with some. Oh, and I had Aaron Arrington Foster on Rio,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
Family Business alums.
yeah, man. I told Rio, I said, man, your character one of those characters, man. You think Rio won't do nothing, but you fool around, he's still a Duncan, so
Duncan.
you, you might get killed. So yeah, man, we are excited to watch it. So I'm glad you said tomorrow. I knew it was this week, didn't know exactly what.
October 23rd, yeah, on
Yeah.
BET Plus.
So I wanted to also talk to you about I had discovered or one day my wife and I, because we're always on Tubi, we stream everything, and so we came across Double Cross, and you one of my wife's favorite actors, and she's like, oh, that's our boy. Oh, he in there, okay, all right. So that show was real interesting to me. I binge watched it to the end.
Yeah, we did 5 seasons of
Yeah,
Double Cross, show I'm really proud of. I was one of the producers on the show, and clearly one of the lead actors playing Detective Ryan. It originally aired on All Black, and then the AMC channel. Now it went to Stars, and now it's on Tubi and
okay,
doing extremely, extremely well. People love this show. It's a different type of show. It's very, very dark. And it's about two vigilantes that are brother and sister twins,
mhm,
that are vigilantes for good, you know, dealing with the child trafficking, which is very huge,
yeah,
in society, and they were against it, and they chose to do something about it. So yeah, Double Cross, you can see it on Tubi. Wonderful series, 5 seasons. Each season is 6 episodes.
right.
So it's 30 episodes of Double Cross. Go view it, go watch it, go stream it. And yeah, so I'm looking forward. People always come on my Instagram page or my
Uh-huh.
Facebook page, telling me about how they enjoy the show.
Man, it was what you talked about. What when my wife and I were sitting down, I said, "Babe, I wish I had that superpower," which was the character Eric Cross.
Yes.
Because of dealing with sex trafficking and snatching kids or grown women. Just that whole thing, putting them in situations they didn't ask to be in. And just even your character, far as upholding the law, and then your character's child
As
gets
much as he could.
yeah, as much as he could. But I like what your character did. When your character child was snatched, you knew who to go to.
Yeah,
And
because that's their business, right? Like
mhm,
our business, my business as Detective Ryan is to catch the bad guys. But sometimes you got to go to the bad guys to catch another bad guy,
yeah,
right? So, that played out on the show. I don't want to spoil it for the people who
well,
have,
yeah, yeah. That
but yeah, it's a really dynamic and different type of show.
was the script when you got into, as far as being one of the producers or wanted to produce as well as get in front of the was it the script, what the show was about, that just made you gravitate towards being a part of it?
Absolutely. I've been 3 decades in the industry, and so I know something good when I read it.
Hmm.
And that doesn't happen every day.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that comes across the desk that isn't good. Everybody thinks their project is great, um, and but when you get the good projects, like Family Business, like Double Cross, like Soul Food, like Stomp the Yard, like The Express, like Tekken, right? Like you make the best of it and you dive right in, you know?
Can you talk to me about when someone of your caliber, when you go into doing independent films? It's been this thought out there, people, oh man, people that's on Tubi, not understanding Tubi is just the distribution, just like Netflix is a, distribution. Can you talk to about where you see some actors of your caliber showing up on independent film? Like you say, good, good work, good
I don't I
project.
don't even know what that means, my caliber.
Well, let me say it this way. I mean, when you seen you in movies and you seen you in a lot of popular TV shows, right? And so here comes the times that we're in now, right? And you see you in an independent space. It doesn't necessarily have to be because it's on Tubi, but just in an
Well, let
independent.
me let me let me say this. It's all independent until a major network picks it up. It's all independent.
Gotcha. There you go.
um, you know, until a major network picks it up. What independent means, I think, in most people's head, is that it's not on ABC, NBC, CBS. You
Yeah.
know, it's not on Peacock. It's not on BET.
Right.
But everything is independent because it's independently shot
Gotcha.
before it makes it to a popular network. So when you're speaking about Tubi, that was a new animal that allowed everybody to come in just
Hmm.
so they could get their numbers up. And as you can imagine, everybody came in and it became a joke. And so they scaled that down now. They made sure that they, honor their streaming platform by not accepting everything now. But
Gotcha.
initially they had to because they had to get all eyes on Tubi.
Gotcha.
Um, whether somebody's in a television series on a popular network or
Hmm.
whether it's an independent film, that doesn't really matter. What matters is that the content is good. What matters is that the text is good, the lighting, the editing is good. It has to make sense or it becomes a joke. One of the things about Tubi, which is a very, very popular network, it's
Hmm.
probably even bigger than Netflix,
Hmm.
except that some things got by on Tubi that wouldn't make it anywhere else.
Gotcha.
And but again, Tubi did that because they had to get their numbers up. They had to get the popularity up. They had to get, the conversation about them being a streaming platform up. So I understand why they did it.
Hmm.
But now if you look at Tubi doesn't have the same movies on that they
True.
had on 4 years ago
True.
because they have to protect their brand now. So now that they're in the door, now that people know about it, now they're protecting their brand and they're putting some, very worthy titles up. I have two titles going up at the top of November, which is Darrin's Dance Grooves, the Untold Darrin Henson story, and The
Okay.
House in the Home. So those will be going up in November.
Okay.
Um, so I have two titles that I produced that I directed going up. I have many other titles up there already that I starred in, but these two titles I produced and directed as well.
How was that for you when you're getting behind the camera and you're trying to direct? your vision to come to life through, other people.
It's very difficult. It's something that that is difficult. You've got to put your all into it.
Hmm.
And and you've got to have a great team, and it's got to be teamwork because nobody does anything alone.
Right.
And you create work for the reasons of being creative. I'm a storyteller.
Hmm.
And so as a producer and as a director, I don't just stand in front of the camera as an actor, but it's my job to bring the production together.
Hmm.
So I'm the captain of the ship. So there's more responsibility that goes along with that.
One of the things I like that you do as well on your Instagram too is how you just celebrate life, man. Like, you'll see you may put, like family business or whatever that you have going on, which you should. I mean, I do the same thing with my podcast, right? But you also celebrate life where we get to see you dancing and, you know, and I love also that you're also there celebrating your wife. Can you talk about that importance to also just celebrate life, period, and not always worrying about work, the next gig or the next thing, but just
Well, well,
celebrate where
well,
you
to
are.
me, life is not just work.
Hmm.
Life is not just work. Life is life. And those people who are stuck in work all the time, they're not paying attention to life. Before you started working, you were playing in playgrounds. You
Right.
were creating. You were kicking balls or throwing balls or chasing people or playing games or enjoying magic. So life is life.
Hmm.
And whether it's you walking in a park, whether it's me walking my dogs, whether it's driving, on a road trip, you got to celebrate life. There's a lot of, um, you know, questions about, our freedoms being taken away, our liberties being taken away.
Yeah.
So if you're not paying attention to what's going on, if you're not working as hard as you possibly can, being creative as you possibly can,
Hmm.
doing as much as you possibly can, you can't complain about what's being taken away because you weren't using it anyway.
Mm.
So, what you don't use, you lose.
Right.
And so really it's about enjoying and living life, man. Just live life. Just do what your heart desires to do. Do what makes you happy. And if you're not doing that, then, I would question whether you're truly living. And
Man,
I'm
that's
nobody to question somebody else's life, but I know what I need. And
right.
so, when you get out of bed, it's not just about scrolling. It's not just about going to work and trading your energy and your life force for a dollar. It's not about that.
No, I like that what you said. If you're not pursuing or using your talents and your gift, but you're just complaining. It's like what you complaining about somebody taking something away from you when you wasn't using it in the first place. that's that's good. That's good. Hey, what my other question I have for you also was what have you enjoyed about the arts that since you came in that keeps you still going, because sometimes something can be like a habit that you may sometimes lose the joy of it, but for you, what
No,
what have
I,
you
I think
enjoyed?
I think that's a great question. True artists never get bored because art is about life, which
Hmm.
is why they say there's an old adage, life imitates art and art imitates life.
Right.
There's something happening every day.
Yeah.
There's something going on around you consistently. Everything is vibrating.
Hmm.
And so nothing stays the same. Everything is changing. And so you must change.
Hmm.
If you're trying to stay the same, you're wasting time, you know? And so nothing stays the same. So I don't believe in the whole forever concept. I don't believe in it.
Hmm.
Everything changes. And you know, it's it's relative for those people who know that. And for those people who don't, then they're like the animal that has its head under the ground, hoping that the tiger doesn't see it, right? But the tiger sees it. You just can't see the tiger, so you get devoured, right? So it really is life. Art is life, and life is art. And so there's something to do always. And there's something to learn always. There's something to be involved
Hmm.
always. There's something to evolve always. And so, yeah, how can you get bored? If you're bored, that simply means that you aren't activating your life and your life
Hmm.
force. What is boredom? Boredom means you're not activated.
Right. You just existing but not living.
Yeah, boredom means that you don't understand your potential. Boredom means that you're not activated.
For you, do you think actors such as well, just actors period, do you think you guys have a cheat code on life? And here's why I'm asking. Because for you, like when you have to play a character, right? Most actors say you can't judge the character if you're going to play it, right? You have to try to play it as honest, as you can, right? Does that help you though when you're looking at life itself, knowing that you've played different type of characters and you see something, whether agree with it or not? Sometimes you can understand it, having to be in that psyche to play a particular character that you saw maybe that might have showed up on the news or something.
That's a great question. Let me say this.
Hmm.
The serial killer doesn't believe he's wrong. He believes that he's doing something right.
Hmm.
He believes that what he's doing, for whatever purpose he or she is doing it,
Hmm.
is the right or righteous thing to do.
Hmm.
The person that has created the most heinous crimes or done some of the most monstrous things believe in what they're doing.
Hmm.
So if you're going to play these people, how can you play them and judge them? Because the person themselves did what they did because they believed that they were in the right. So, with that being said,
Hmm.
no, you have to have empathy for whomever you're playing because you've got to get into their head. It's not about you. There's so many times that I've been around people
Hmm.
and, they're trying to talk to me while I'm working. Depending on how deep I go into a character, and if anybody knows me, they know I go deep into my characters.
Hmm.
You might not be talking to Darrin because I go so deep into the character's head, you're probably getting a response from the character,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
So it's never about judging the character harshly. How can you play somebody that you judge?
Right.
You can't. And so that's not the work. The work is to get into the character's head and to tell their story and tell their truth. And to be able to tell their truth, you've got to be in their skin. And you have to have under, over, and understanding to who they are and why they do what they do, you know?
Fascinating. Fascinating. You're one of the few people that when you play a character, we see your character, right? The art that you're creating. But you're one of the few people that we don't judge you by the character that you play.
I
Like,
don't know that that's true. I mean, people, they do it all the time. They'll come up to me and go, I hated you in Stomp the Yard. I said, me or the character, right? Or, now I'm starting to hear Orlando. Why are you so mean, Orlando? A couple of years ago, I love Orlando. Now Orlando's mean, right? Because it's the story of what's going on with the characters and
mm,
how Orlando just don't let somebody come up and go, "Oh, I'm your brother," or "I'm this and I'm that," or Junior's not your brother. It's like, what are we talking about here? That that is like cognitive dissonance at its best, right? Like
mhm,
you've got a lot of trauma going on within the family.
right,
And so you don't just let people without proving themselves, right?
right.
And so that's what's going on with Orlando. He's going, no, you got to prove it to me.
Well,
Words,
what's
words are just words. And Darrin is like that too. Words are just words.
you got to prove it to me.
Somebody could look in your face and lie to you
Yeah,
like going to get coffee and eating a donut,
that's a
right?
big
So
lie.
words are just words, man.
Yeah,
Words are just words.
you
And
watch the
so,
action.
yeah, and so, life is about living. Living is about taking action. Taking action comes from thought. Thought comes from realizing. Realization comes from taking the time to care enough to, right? So they're all connected. There's a connectivity with it all. And so when people talk about they want to be actors, and I'm like, do you want to be an actor or you just want to be famous? Don
Mhm.
Cheadle said it the best. You want to be an actor, or you want to be famous, because there's a huge difference.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, because I've heard had a chance to interview many actors as such as yourself, and like they say, you first of all you're gonna hear a lot of no's before you even yeses. You get turned down more than you get the
Yeah,
yeses.
it's this is real. It's like when I was a choreographer.
Uh,
Everybody in the world knows I created Bye 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 for NSYNC.
right.
When they did it in Deadpool, there was this Caucasian guy that did the dance, he body doubled, and everybody was making it seem like he created it up. What are you talking about? The moves were created 25 years ago. It's historical information. Everybody in the world knows that Darrin DeWitt Henson created Bye Bye Bye, right? So did I create Bye 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 because I wanted to be famous, or did I love dancing? And as a catalyst to loving dancing, I created something that the whole world could do. Because if I was just focused on money, I might have never created it. If I just focused on being famous, I might have never created it. I focused on it because I love dancing.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. That's why we watch bad movies or bad TV shows, because people want to just be famous. They're not studying acting.
Not studying the art.
They
Yeah.
might be able to say the words, but you don't feel anything because they've never studied acting.
There's more. Yeah. It's more than just saying the lines
Yeah.
and.
So it's disrespectful to those people who love the art and know the art and work on the art and have spent time um, in practicing the art, right?
Mhm.
And they call themselves actors. They're not actors. They're people who memorize the line.
It's funny you say that because even in Stump the Yard, I remember the first time I saw it, I said, I don't know if Darren gonna be able to pull off no dancing. Now Darren aging, and you were bodying, all the dance moves that you was putting out there. I said, okay, maybe it's just me.
Bro, you ain't never gonna catch me off guard. Never. It ain't gonna happen. Don't waste your time.
They ain't gonna catch you. They, yeah, man, you did your thing. You did, but you know what? You said something a minute ago. You said, Darren, you the same way. You got to prove it to me, right? And it was funny because even in the scene of Stomp the Yard, when he said somebody need to teach you a lesson, and you look, you gonna what? You gonna do it?
I said, you gonna show me?
You gonna show? I think that was Darren. Like you gonna show me?
You
Yeah.
gonna show me?
I just thought about that when you said it that you had to prove to me. Man, what just two more questions. One
That's why I told him in the movie. I said, oh, you think you funny?
yeah. What still what inspires you today, man?
Wow, you've got some great questions because, you know, for years after Michael and Prince
Mhm.
transitioned, I didn't feel inspired.
Wow.
Um, it was very difficult. I went through a very tough time because working with those two amazing people, um, I felt like things died with them.
I get it.
And I didn't feel inspired for years. But then because of acting,
Mhm.
I allowed myself to transfer the energy that I
Mm.
used to get from music and the dance from them. And of course, after winning my MTV Music Award, it was just like what else? So now in acting and producing and directing, I'm incredibly inspired. I mean, how can you not be with Denzel Washington, with Don Cheadle, with Jeffrey Wright, with Samuel Jackson, with John Travolta? How can you not be inspired, right? And
Yeah.
so it allows me, and all of these men that I just mentioned, I really want to work with. Those are the cream of the crops. Those are the top of the line to me. Delroy Lindo, you know,
Oh,
how could you not be inspired? And so I have new dreams now. I have new inspirations. I have new desires. I'm on fire again. And I have a television series that I directed, that I produced. Um, Everybody will hear about that later.
okay.
Um, so I'm on fire. I'm on fire again. Have new goals, have new dreams. I have new feelings about things. It's a different Darrin today. I'm not the same Darrin I was last year. The Darrin today is different. And so, I'm walking in those shoes now.
This is a side question. When you said was that in I would ask, was that in the last 5 years where you got that freshness of inspiration?
It probably really started to crescendo this last year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
within the last year, it's because I've been working, I've been busy, I've
Right.
been
Yeah. Yeah.
creating, but within the last year, it's really like this cacophony that's happening, and it hasn't completely crescendoed, but the cacophony is growing, and I'm on fire again. I have a new vision. Scripture says, those with lack of vision shall perish,
Paris.
and I have a new vision. And so, you know, I speak in many different ways. I speak through my books. I speak through my clothing line, God's Billboard t-shirts
Yep.
that you and your wife have supported. Everybody, you can go to my website, thedarrenhenson.com, to pick up your book or your shirt, or to get a personalized video for yourself or your business, all on my website, one-stop shop. But yeah, so this is how I show up in the world, through my work.
I just asked that only because it just you made Orlando Duncan so vibrant. So that's why I asked that question. It just seemed like you were newly energized because you give that
Absolutely.
character so much energy.
Wait till
So
you see the sixth season.
I'm gonna be plugged tomorrow. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
plugged tomorrow. My final question for you, man, is what's your sport teams, man? Who you root for, man?
I'll be honest, I'll probably be the one that'll tell you, I'm a fight lover. So
Okay.
boxing is probably the sport that we can talk about. But anything in terms of football or basketball,
Uh,
I love watching football. So during football season, I'm a Steelers fan.
okay.
Um, I'm a Dallas fan. Uh, but yeah,
You like boxing?
other than that, it's boxing. It's,
Bud's the man right now.
it's
Bud is carrying the sport right now.
You already know he did his thing, and I'm a huge Canelo fan as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, watching those two warriors fight was amazing. But other than that, I don't really, I'm not into sports. When I was young, I loved baseball.
Yeah.
Um, but when they started, you know, to me it was a disservice and an injustice when you take baseball games away from young boys who
Yeah.
used to watch it on television for free. And
Mhm.
then if you didn't have cable, the young boys couldn't watch it. I just thought that was unfair. It was around that time that changed, where I really started to disconnect, because, sports should should be free viewership on TV.
Yeah, it should because it's
Make it,
such,
they make enough money with the seats being sold in the stadiums.
they do. I agree. I agree with you. I thank you for coming on the show, man. Once again, blessing us with your presence and your wisdom, man. Keep much success. Do you have dates for the other two shows you mentioned in November? The
Yeah,
documented.
they'll be in on November. The names of the titles are The Untold Darrin Henson Story,
Okay.
Darrin's Dance Grooves,
Okay.
and A House Ain't a Home.
Okay.
So just keep looking for those titles. They're populated, which means they can show up any day in November.
Okay.
And please support the titles because they're amazing titles. And the Untold Darrin Henson story is about my entire choreographical career. So, I mean, we've got Deborah Cox in there, NSYNC, Michael Jackson, Prince, Escape, Lisa, CNC Music Factory, Spice Girls. I mean, every Britney Spears, everybody is in it. It's an amazing documentary. So hopefully everybody will support that.
Yeah, I'm. Yes, we got to support that. People forget, man. You've been around for a long time. Started off, like you said. Uh,
Not that long, but long enough that I've created something the whole world can enjoy and
hey,
celebrate.
hey, because I knew you was coming on, right? All this right here was white. I said, hold on, man. I got Darrin coming on. Hold on. We got to darken this thing up. I can't.
Hey, you gotta be you, man. Live your best life. Do it. Look, look. I think a man could color his beard if women could take something from here, and put it back here. Look, just live life, be healthy, be happy, be whole. We have everything that we need to be successful already. We are already more than enough. Just keep going, growing, and glowing. All is well.
Well, thank you once again, man. Much success to you, man. We'll be catching Carl Weber's Family Business tomorrow, and we'll be on the lookout for everything in November, man. Stay safe, stay blessed, man, and we love you.
God bless you. Thank you.